Hi, I'm Wally. I'm the same person in that picture, even though I look very different, which I respect. I'm non-binary, and I know that a lot of you might not know what that means, and that is just fine. It's a bit more of a niche title in what is already a niche in our society, and that's entirely fine. So we generally think about gender with male and female, or man and woman and stuff, and I don't really prescribe to that. I think it's limiting, and I don't like it overall. So I don't know, I'm just kind of outside of that. I'm non-binary, I'm not constricted to those two things. Sometimes I'm very pretty, and I wear very nice makeup, and I like that. And sometimes I wear leather jackets and have this messy hair, and don't care about how I look. I shaved today because I wanted to look nice for you guys, but I didn't shave for like a week or two because I kind of liked the way my facial hair looked. I don't know, it's a lot about aesthetics, and I feel that's about my identity, I guess. So I guess I'll backtrack a bit. I guess if you couldn't tell, I'm male, I'm man, I have male genitalia and stuff. And growing up, that affects you. Like, I mean, you're assigned, designated sexes it defines you a lot, and people treat you differently. You get different toys, you get treated differently. You have to like different shows, or have different friends, or do different things, and that's limiting. I didn't really like that when I was growing up, and I didn't like being a man to an extent. I didn't like the hyper masculinity and the sports and stuff and all those things. And sometimes I liked it. I did play football for 2 years, and I liked it at times, and I enjoyed having more masculine, manly friends, if you will. But sometimes I didn't like it, and I remember growing up a lot, I kind of hated myself a bit, because I kind of thought I'd never be able to grow up and be pretty. And I was upset with that. I didn't like what I was given in the society, and I thought that was kind of bad. So I grew up, and I wasn't liking myself a lot, and that's not a nice feeling. I'm feeling a lot better now, though, obviously. But it's a really nuanced thing. It's a really difficult thing, and I don't know. Growing up, it was weird, and people would always kind of treat me like a man and stuff, and that's they weren't doing anything wrong. It's just how people are raised, and that's fine. But I don't know. It's just really important to treat people like people, I guess, and that's kind of what I see with the queer community and being non-binary and stuff. It's a lot about just being yourself and being treated like yourself, whoever and however you are, and I think that's the most important thing about that. I'm struggling to think of what else to talk about. Sorry, I didn't prepare a whole lot, so I'm not smart sometimes.
Do you want to talk about how you grew up?
Yeah, okay. So growing up it's weird. I remember when I was growing up, I didn't like it, and so I tried on girls' clothes a good amount of time. Not a whole lot, but I thought it was interesting. I liked it. It's a different feeling. It's a weird feeling doing something that everyone says isn't what you're supposed to do. I didn't wear it that much, but I remember people would always kind of. I did it with a friend once, and I was kind of like, oh, don't I look nice? Isn't this nice? And they kind of made fun of me, and that kind of like circulated through the schools a little bit, that I was this scandalous cross-dresser, and I was kind of that hurt, and I didn't like that. It's not nice. I don't like that. But from that, I learned to embrace it a lot more as I kind of grew up more in my early teens and stuff. And it was especially nice, being in the 2000s and stuff. There's tons of media everywhere, and there's just all these different nuanced things, and so many queer things are in media that we don't even really realize about it. Like elves or whatever in Lord of the Rings, or robots and stuff. Like, they're all non-binary. They aren't a thing, which is cool. Like, I'm a robot, I'm an elf, I like that. I like being that different thing. That's nice, and that's kind of what that's about. But I think it was nice to get lost in those fictions. It was nice to see those things where everyone's accepted in different ways or is, a different thing or another. And I think that's really an important thing to do. Growing up a lot, I played a lot of games, and it's not, I like games, but they're also really limiting in a lot of ways. In a lot of them, you can make your character to express yourself however you want, and you can, change your hair and change your clothes and look how the different things you can look like and all that. But every single time, it's a binary. It's always, oh, you have a male body, male preset with all these things. You don't have a female preset and stuff. That was always really weird, and I didn't really like that. It felt not wrong, but limiting. And so when I played a few games that actually did have a weird little slider, so you could be somewhere in between, which was a really nice feeling to have, and having it not restrict your clothing options. And I really liked that, and I really felt like I could express myself in this different kind of world, and it was a really, really nice feeling. And there's even another game that came out, and you can change the way that it addresses you, so you can change your different pronouns and how you want to be referred to as, and that's a phenomenal feeling, because it's finally feeling like you're in this thing that's supposed to be for everyone, but is also excluding me, excluding non-binary people, excluding a whole subsection of people. And that's not nice, but it's a wonderful feeling to feel accepted like that. Everyone. I remember once I was going to hang out with a friend, so I was telling my dad about it, and he's kind of a rude guy. I don't really talk to him a whole lot, but I told him about this person. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with them. They're really cool. We're gonna go do this thing, and they're gonna get me food or whatever. And he's like, oh, why are you saying they? Are they two people? I was like, well, no, Dad. They're they're non-binary, and they prefer they them and pronouns. So I'm just trying to respect that. I'm trying to treat them the way they want to be respected. And he kind of looked at me and was like, I don't get that. That's weird. And he kind of turned to me. He's like, I don't like that. I don't want you to. That's that's how they get you. I don't want that. That's how they get you. That really, that felt bad. It's weird saying to someone that this feeling that you felt your whole life, before I knew about homosexuality or different gender identities. As a little kid, I didn't know any of these words and I didn't know any of these concepts. And I felt this way. I was trying different clothes on, and I was thinking different ways of expressing myself. And then this guy is saying, no, they're going to make you like them. You're not already like them. There was a weird disconnect in who I thought I was and who the world thought I was. But it's not how it is. That's not how it is at all. I am this way, and I don't like that way of thinking of you can't be part of it if you haven't talked to them and you haven't talked to other gay people, because it's not a thing about community. I mean, for some people it is about community. They like speaking to other people with that, and that's good. It's good to have a community. It's good to have people that have similar experiences. But I think for me, being non-binary and being queer, it's just about who I am personally. It's just about that's my biggest thing. It's all just about expressing myself. It's just, this is who I am. It's not phase. It's not me lashing out at someone or lashing out at clothing companies or something. It's just this is just who I am. And I feel like that's not really given enough attention. And not it's not done maliciously. It's not a mean thing, but just word choice will affect that sometimes too. It's a very easy to slip up thing. I just don't. I see a lot of, even with queer media and stuff, see people saying, I identify as this or I identify as that, and that's good. That's good to identify and that's good to have a trait that you can latch onto. That's very nice. But also it's not, it seems demeaning. It's like, oh, I think I'm like this. But I don't think this. I know this. I've known this, my entire life. It's just been really difficult to find out what it is, and I'm still finding out what it is because, looked like that 2 months ago, and now I look like this. It's a very changing thing, and we're all changing things. Yeah, and I guess the way it affects me in like everyday life and with everything is, people aren't mean, they aren't like, and it's not easy to like spot me out as a non-binary. You can't just like see me and say I have a tattoo that says NB on my face. Like it's not easy like that. It's difficult, but it's just these kind of, not even aggressions, but like micro things that people will say to me and say just in conversation, and that'll affect me, I guess. It'll won't push me, it won't make me feel bad, but it makes me feel like more isolated, more pushed away. Remember I went on a trip to Arizona with my mom, and we saw family and stuff, and they're all wonderful people. They let us stay there, and they were very nice. They fed us, and we all hung out, we laughed, and we had a good time. It was really nice. But I also remember they would constantly talk to me and talk about me, and they would just constantly say these different masculine things about me. Oh, aren't you a big strong man? And oh, can't you help me do this with your big strong manly thing? I don't know. And it felt weird because that's not who I am. That's something else that's being prescribed to me, and I don't like that. It's not nice. Yeah. What else should I talk about? I don't know.
How do you see your identity affecting yourself in this community in particular as you move around this community?
I don't know. I don't interact a whole lot, but I'm a little antisocial and all that. But it's nice. If I ever do have to talk about it or do mention these things, people are always more interested in it than they are, confused. They're not mad. People are always really interested in this kind of thing, I think, and that's nice. And I think that's really important that we. I'm 18. I kind of know who I am, where I'm at, and all that, and that's. It's fine, not that it's too late for me, but I think the most important thing is just to change the language we talk about these things, and to change how we talk to kids about this kind of thing, I think. I think that's the most important thing. And just being respectful of strangers, and I'll make a lot of mistakes myself, and I'll say, sir or ma'am at my work, just because it's polite, and I like to be polite, and that's good. It's good to be polite. But that kind of language is very limiting, to all these things. And it's good to just not assume. It's kind of become like a joke term in bad circles online, but don't assume someone's gender. And it never hurts to ask. If you just ask, what are your pronouns, or what do you identify as? And it's become like this, at least with my friends, a lot of younger queer people, we'll have these conversations, and we'll kind of start it out, be like, oh, nice to meet you. What are your pronouns? What do I identify as? And it's a wonderful thing. It is a wonderful thing, because every single time they ask that, I always say, hi, I'm Wally, and I use they, them pronouns. And I always feel really happy about that. It's always phenomenal to feel that way. So it's, it doesn't hurt, because, if you don't feel that way, just, hi, I'm Walter, and I use he, him pronouns. It's such a simple thing, and it's such a small thing that makes anyone, even someone like me, feel more included, and I think that's really important to have.